What's this?
This is just.
And I asked myself that question. It was a rhetorical question. It was more a jaw-dropping, holy shit, what's this?
Yeah, which is that's how Korean Buddhists practice. What's this? They keep saying, what's this? But without the direction of the preliminaries.
Mm. And you referred to the hijacking earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right about that. Because there is consciousness. I mean, so I had this period of like 10 days or something where, and I lived there, and so I know what it's like. And
then the mind
like
steps
this
in.
consciousness, this presence here has no desires. The body might get hungry, but that's about it. I mean, there's
still a livingness that happens.
Right. But so I've been taken over, and I gotta, well,
here's the thing.
I'm not gonna be able to think my way out of this. I'm gonna have to look.
Yes. Which is what I'm trying to get you to do now.
Yeah.
Like, did you read any of Douglas Harding's stuff back in the 80s?
Oh, the headless. Yeah. I ran into that about, I don't know, 3 months ago.
On
That's
having
very
no head.
interesting.
Yeah.
Can Mark feel, and can I feel a mark, right? That's the second question.
Yeah. Very, very important. Extraordinarily important. Because even with this profound understanding that I had, I was still walking around believing it was Terry feeling. Now, can you imagine, right? Been on the path for years, okay?
Right.
And the idea is that the me's got to go. It's got to be seen through. It's got to be understood. And you hear people say, you got to kill it. You got to, like, it's got to die. To die to them. You hear all that shit, Now, if mind is identified with this presence awareness, this aliveness, and calling that Terry, then that would have to go too, wouldn't it? The consciousness, the awareness, the aliveness. Logically, if Terry's got to go, then this would have to go also. Any wonder the mind hangs on.
Yeah, well, it'd be death.
Yes. Yes. Any wonder it hangs on.
Yeah, it fights really hard to create.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, this happened all around 18 months, 2 years of age. You used the word earlier, hijack. The thoughts just, they're like conditioned. They're just all thoughts are put there based on language. We learn a language. All our thinking is in a language. If you were born in China.
My parents kept calling me this thing, and one of these, they kept calling me by this name, and one of these days they said, "Oh, that must be me." Correct. And I was moving these things, and I said, "Oh, those must be mine."
Yeah, and pointing to you. Oh, right. I must be this consciousness, this awareness, this beingness. I must be this. And then it stayed that way up until now. And but the conditioning got heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's the hijack. Mind starts saying, I am Terry, and I am here, and I'm alive, and I am conscious, and I am aware, and I see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. Mind started saying that. You can't say you can't say a 6-month-old baby isn't conscious, isn't aware, and can't see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. All of that is going on. But it's not attributed to a me at 6 months of age because language hasn't been learnt yet.
Right.
And all thought is in language.
Language, or I have also pictures.
Like photographs. And that, but even the pictures, images. You need the language to interpret the pictures. But either way, you know, this beingness, this consciousness, this awareness was there long before Terry came along, long before Mark came along.
That's that's true.
Yeah.
It's always been here.
Yeah.
But then I revolt against people that say, you are the awareness, you are consciousness, because then the mind just goes and says, yeah, okay, you know, it's just like, so I've identified now with this instead of that.
I know.
And that doesn't help.
No, but the truth can help you.
Right. Yeah.
Can Mark feel?
Mark cannot feel.
What's it like to feel a mark? Can you feel a mark? Can Mark feel? Can I feel a mark? Can Mark feel? The answer is no. Therefore,
Mark can't feel.
Good.
I'm clear on that.
Right. Then therefore,
I've never asked the second question, so I want to be honest.
Yeah. So if Mark can't feel, how could you experience a mark? How could you feel a mark? Mark's it's nothing. Mark can't feel. It's nothing. Mark is a nothing. Then how do you feel a nothing?
How do you feel an idea?
Yes.
I just hesitate a little bit, Terry, because, you know, it's like brick can't feel, but I can feel a brick. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I want to go slowly and make sure
I'm not saying, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that there's not feeling happening.
Right.
Because absolutely there is. The question is, who or what is feeling?
Yeah, and I know Mark can't feel. And can I feel a mark? Can I feel an idea?
Nope. Can't feel an idea. It's not possible. Tell me what an apple feels like as an idea. Visualize.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's good to change it to something more.
Visualize a green apple in your head.
With less, because Mark is such a loaded thing.
Yes.
I heard you talk about, you gave an example with a green apple, and I was like, that was profound. And I think it was imagine a green apple. And then you went on from there.
Yeah, imagine a green apple. Now, is that an apple? No.
No.
It's not an apple.
I can't taste it. I can't feel it. I can't touch it.
Good. Can you feel a word? Can you feel
I can't feel the word. But if I say I just want to be, you know, if I say the word anger, it can give rise to.
Yeah, but that's only because there's other words connected to it. The word anger itself, by itself, what is that? What's the word? Like, can any word stand on its own, by itself, without any other words attached to it? That's why we have a dictionary. What's the definition of the word anger? And there's a whole lot of other words that then describe that word. But the word itself, by itself, what is it? It's nothing. You could take.
But we take it to be something, and that's the problem.
Well, we take it to be. It gets taken to be something only because of all of the other story that gets connected with that word anger. But the story that gets connected with that word anger is just other words. Now take any of those other words, anyone, and pull that out. Isolate that word. What does that mean? Nothing. Like zero. It's just a dualistic process. Duality is a product of mind, thoughts only. Thoughts. There's your duality. Mind is the duality. In the absence of mind, in the absence of all thoughts, what duality remains? And then what do? It's funny, we use a dualistic instrument to try and discover non-dual.
Yeah, yeah, and I finally came to the conclusion, like, recently, I'm not going to be able to think my way out of this, which is really hard for a smart person.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I get it, right?
Not that I'm, some genius, but
no, I understand. Yeah, using logic, but the
reasoning and yeah, and I'd always been able to.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I did for a living was.
But the fact of the matter remains, and it comes back to those two questions, Mark.
Yeah, can Mark feel and can I?
See, if
I like the green apple, the green apple kind of separates me out of it a bit, That's part of the problem is that when I say, can I feel a Mark, then all of a sudden something like little tiny lights go up inside me, and that's Mark. There you are. Your skin, your encasement, looking through these eyes up here, that whole experience.
That's the hijack. If you know the answer to both those two questions, then it becomes a jaw-dropping rhetorical question. Oh my God, what's this?
And that's the third progression.
Yeah, and it should go silent. You're not waiting for an answer, a mind-made conceptual answer as to the question, what's this? It's like what's?
Yeah. It's a looking, wonderment, I guess, until
it's arriving there. What's this? It's arriving there. Because right here,
I'm just going through
the
the first question I'm really clear on. The second one, I got it. I've never asked myself that question.
Yeah.
So I don't have I know I can't feel a green apple. Can I feel? Why do I have the difference between can I feel a Mark versus can I feel a green apple?
Well, just sit with the logic of this. Yeah. The truth of this. Okay. If Mark can't feel, what would that mean? Mark can't feel. Mark can't see, hear, taste, touch, smell. Mark is not conscious. Mark is not aware. But just if you want to just bring it back to feel, can Mark feel? If your answer is no, then it wouldn't be possible to feel a Mark. Because Mark is nothing.
I guess even though I know that Mark can't feel, there's something inside me that's tethering me.
Yeah. If Mark can't feel, what's this? You can't feel a concept, Mark. Mark is a concept.
Oh, yeah.
Mark is just a concept.
You can't feel a concept. You can't feel a concept.
You can't. And then look, if we use my amnesia pointer, I don't know if you've seen that, but
yes, yeah.
Right. So if I create amnesia in you right now, Mark is gone. But something remains.
Right.
But Mark is literally gone. Gone.
Yeah, that image, that thing is just wiped out.
Gone. So that'll tell you what Mark is, right? Because that gets wiped out. That'll tell you what the Mark is. It's all dependent on memory. It's just thoughts. It's a mental construct. And if we eliminate that, that's gone. Because let's say you've experienced amnesia or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
What remains?
Just this livingness.
Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, consciousness, awareness. That doesn't need a mark character for it to be.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, those are going to keep going until a while.
You can't have,
can I feel a mark? Yeah, no, you can't feel yeah, that's the first time I've heard of that. But
it's important. And both those questions are important. If you're struggling with the second question, go back to the first. If you've absolutely got the first question, the second question just falls straight in line behind it. It's a no-brainer. And then you're left with, holy shit, what's this?
Yeah, that all makes perfect sense, Terry. I'm
yeah. So you kind of have to sit with this.
That's what I was gonna. It sounds like the next kind of like,
yeah,
watching the breath go in and out. That was a waste of 3 years of 2 hours a day.
Yeah, I would have been. I would have preferred you to be asking the question, "Who's breathing?
Yeah.
Who's breathing? What's breathing?"
Yeah, and
rather than
where is Mark, or any of those.
Yeah.
Contemplation, not just this. Well, we're so tricked by what's in the mainstream.
Yeah.
Buddhist practice.
Yep. When it comes to meditation, the real meditation is to, if you're going to meditate, okay, the real meditation is to sit there and meditate on the meditator.
Yeah, I heard you say that, and there's one of your talks, I think, like it's like with a question mark, a meditation, right? And I sent it to my buddy, and I said, if you're, this is correct.
Because otherwise, there's a personal self sitting there meditating to gain something. Nobody meditates for nothing. Everybody wants something out of it. If you're going to sit there and just meditate on the meditator, that's profound. Who or what is sitting here meditating?
Yeah, I actually, the whole complex, hey, your posture, back needs to be straight, and and all the rest of that nonsense. I just kind of gave that up, and I just sit on the couch, in a relatively comfortable position in the morning when I'm alert, with a cup of coffee, and just kind of like,
shouldn't be strange.
You can see, you're just kind of, and and you can, that sense of self, that how do I say, so looking inward, and there's this, not at what is marked, but is just kind of what's there. What is this? What is, what's here? What's really here? Like, not imagined, or just Krishnamurti makes this big difference between reality, which is whatever we imagine, ideas, thoughts, whatever, versus actuality, which is, and I never understood that before, and I see,
reality is that.
It's too bad we're wired like this. Everybody's wired like this.
There's no everybody.
Well, I mean, the DNA, right? There must be something. There must be some, like, you survive better if you have a strong self. If you're selfish, and all this.
That's the story. Yeah, that's the story. Yeah.
and then you got to protect it, and
that's the story. Yeah.
And you'll spread more DNA, I guess, or something. But it's
look, you've identified, I'm sure, that thinking just happens.
Yeah, there's thinking that just happens that's not, I'm not responsible for. But sometimes if a thought comes up or an image comes up, I can pick it up and play with it.
That's the secondary thought.
Yeah.
That's just the secondary thought.
That is
that's just another thought.
It is, but they're just,
see,
I'm sure we'll get into this question of control.
Look, here's what's happening, okay? 3 things, yeah? Thoughts just happen.
Right.
Okay, but here's what's happening for you, right? Thoughts just happen, you've identified that, yeah? But then there's me that can have personal thoughts, even about the thoughts that are just happening. True?
Right.
Right. And what I'm telling you is all of those 3, seeming 3, are happening in the one. It's all thoughts. All thoughts. There is no separate me that has personal thoughts. Even the idea of a me comes from the thoughts that just happen. And then these seeming personal thoughts about the thoughts that just happen also arise in the thoughts that just happen. It's all mind, all of it. It's all mind.
It is all, yeah, it's all. I guess sometimes something is like, something will be annoying to me, and I'll see it and I'll say, oh, if I dwell on that, but this is the typical Mark mind, right? The ordinary, it's just, and it will hurt me.
Yeah.
If I have these resentment, I could go on for an hour thinking about how someone did this or to me, and it's just like, that's just not helpful. So I'm just not going to go there.
Yeah. Says mind.
And I think what you're saying is that there's the initial thought, which I can see is just like the wind, or it just pops.
Yeah.
But then there's the mark, the idea of mark, which is playing with that first one and coming up with another group of thoughts.
All thoughts.
But it's all just,
it's all thoughts.
Yeah.
There's not an entity there. There's not a mark entity there that can have thoughts about thoughts. Mark is the thoughts.
Mark is the thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
so recognizing this is the ultimate solution. It's not management. It's actually the final answer.
Now, if you've seen what it is I've just pointed to, doesn't it beg the question, who or what is the thinker then? Because thinking is happening, right? Thinking is happening. Yeah. And you've identified it's not a Mark character that's doing the thinking. The Mark character is the thinking, is the thoughts. If anything, you're aware of the Mark character being created by thoughts.
The Mark character is all thought constructed, and and a few images tossed in.
Good. So if that's the case, then that Mark character can't think.
No, the Mark character can't think.
Right. So all of this, it's all arising in that one mind. Thoughts just happen.
Yeah.
And there's a character Mark. That's all arising in the mind as well. And then there's the idea that the Mark character can think. And then there's the idea that the Mark character is conscious and is aware and can see, hear, taste, touch, smell. And it's all mind, all thoughts, all.